All right, friends, we back with the lifting slave himself, Jeff Nippard, the fitness enslavement camp enslaver of slaves, of lifting slaves and gym slaves and fitness slaves. Overrated, the worst fitness advice ever. I could have waited to do a video on this because this just popped out. Now, this is what I like to do. That whole revival fitness stuff is just crap, man. I don't even like that channel. It's just garbage stuff. But this is entertainment, man. This is it takes the cake. So he's gonna talk about the worst advice. Okay, let's review this video.
In this video, I'm ranking 19 controversial fitness topics as either overrated or underrated. And for some extra scientific credibility, this time I'm pulling in exercise scientist Dr. Mike Israetel, who not
Ooh, he's bringing in Dr. Mike Israetel. Maybe he's a chiropractic doctor. How do you know what kind of doctor he is? I don't know. It's the doctor, Dr. Pepper.
not only has a PhD in sport physiology, but is a competitive bodybuilder.
Oh, he has a PhD in sports physiology, which sports doesn't exist in the natural world. PhDs don't exist. None of this exists in the natural world, but people will, they think you're nuts. If you're a natural person, you must be crazy. You have to act unnaturally. Therefore, you're sane. Yes.
I'm giving us 15 seconds each to explain why we think each item is overrated or underrated, and we'll be covering 3 categories.
That's really simple. Facts are really facts. But here's the thing. If you could put doubt in anybody's mind, that's all you have to do is spread doubt around. And then that's the end of that. You understand me? Doubt isn't based on facts, but okay, who cares, right? Does Jeff Nippard give a shit?
Training, nutrition, and hot fitness topics. Here we go.
I love this. Training, nutrition. What was that nutrition? I think it was cereal. And then what was the hot topic? Steroid people or whatever. I don't know, man. Okay, let's watch this.
Category is training. Cheat reps, also known as ego lifting.
Go first.
It is a journey without an end or a purpose. When you think it through, cheat reps are stupid on almost all counts. You end up having a higher probability of injury, a lower probability of stimulating the target muscle, and a very difficult time tracking.
I agree that they're overrated. I think for the most part, people should use good technique. I would argue that on certain exercises, for example, bicep curls, if doing a little bit of cheating and slight momentum allows you to get another rep, and then you control the eccentric, that might...
I would say it depends on your training, what you're training for. Why are you cheating? Here's the thing. You aren't damaging muscles anymore. These people are coming in chronically lifting, okay? So therefore, they are an endurance athlete. And so they're lifting this weight, but in the back of their mind, they're thinking, in the back of their mind, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, man. Most of these guys like Sam Sulek is always saying, I'm building muscle. I'm getting the pump and I'm building muscle. So if you're building muscle in the gym, what are you building? Must be glycogen, right? So are you getting strong from building glycogen in your muscle? Absolutely not. So what is building this strength to lift something heavy? It's kind of obvious, man. It's gravity. You're on planet Earth. Your body's going to compensate with something. It's called an adaptation process. What is it going to adapt? It's going to adapt by giving you more androgen receptor strength. See this? For example, hold on here, let me find it. I don't know where it went now. All right, hold on, let me bring it up. Shit. So it's going to adapt by giving you myocytic androgen receptor strength, but that doesn't control the mass. See that? So you're going to get an adaptation in that. And so him coming in the gym, Sam Sulek now lifting like that, what is he going to get? These lifters, these cheating and all their cheating and all that. So you get something, there's something that protects muscle. Okay, so you get into the gym, you reach an M&D size limit, right? You reach an M&D size limit. You came in as a newbie lifter again. You reached an M&D size limits beyond where the progenitor could donate any more nuclei to support further muscle growth. And then it moves into this shift. It shifts into this. The repeated bout effect protects muscle. It's an adaptation. See that where it refers to an adaptation whereby a single bout of secondary exercise is protected against muscle damage from subsequent eccentric bouts. And then it moves into a third shift. Now it's protected. There's no muscle damage, but you think you're damaging muscles. That's why you're cheating in the back of your mind. It's an instinctual thing, okay? But I'm just explaining what you're getting. Okay, man? So And you, as in this map, this is what happens. So in this map, nuclei overload training, whatever, acquired by whatever baloney training. They show you the map. This is the gains that you get. These are the gains that you get. Training, first training style, cell fusion, boom. So you actually got an ultra-structural muscle injury and it hypertrophied. See that? It hypertrophied. So under these advantages, but now it's protected by the repeated bout effect phenomena. There's no more damage there. So it moves into this secondary shift, secondary third shift, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, because now you're a trained person. You were untrained, you got ultrastructural muscle injury, but now you're trained. And if you're trained, you're an endurance athlete, you're getting sarcoplasmic. What is sarcoplasmic? Sarcoplasmic is fake muscles, broski. It's fake muscles, broski. Yeah, man. They're fake muscles. Okay? You got two types, myofibular and you have sarcoplasmic. Sarcoplasmic increases glycogen storage. Myofibular increases myofibulars. But you're not getting that. You got that in your newbie game, what it showed there. And so what is this sarcoplasmic? It's artificial muscle gains, bro. Hold on a second. There, it's an artificial type of muscle growth. See that? Just for the visual aspects. There's no density, nothing. There's no strength there. There's absolutely zero strength, and I can prove that too. So it may make the muscles appear larger, but it does not increase strength. So there's no strength. So what is, if there's no strength and you're getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and there's no strength, what is giving you that strength? Well, it's very simple. I just told you what's giving you that strength. The myocytic androgen receptor is giving you that strength. What I just showed you there before, okay? So there you go, myocytic androgen receptor strength. This one right here, that's the strength, that's the strength. That's an adaptation right there, okay? That's what all you are getting.
It might be an extra controlled eccentric that you wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't used that little bit of momentum. So I think that they can have some value, but I would still say overall, mostly overrated.
Muscle soreness.
I think it can be a good proxy that you did actually hit the target muscle. It can be an indication that the muscle you were trying to hit was in fact stimulated. But I think
He doesn't say what kind of muscle soreness. You mean sore after your workout? Or a delayed onset muscle soreness. See what I mean? Doesn't really specify.
I think a lot of people are under the impression that if you didn't get sore, that means you didn't have a good workout or you didn't grow.
You mean you didn't get sore as soon as you finished that rep? Or you didn't get sore like a delayed onset muscle soreness that lasted a few days? Which one is it?
Muscle, which is definitely not true. And in that sense, I would say it's overrated.
I think it's become fashionable lately.
I would say he's absolutely incorrect because muscle soreness is associated with ultrastructural muscle injuries. So a delayed onset muscle soreness is associated with a type of ultrastructural muscle injury. Delayed onset soreness, DOMS, is a type of ultrastructural muscle injury. The manifestation of DOMS is caused by eccentric or unfamiliar forms of exercise. Yeah, see that? Unfamiliar forms of exercise. Now, people who come into the gym frequently, they get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, people that come in people that come in chronically get sarcoplasmic. People that come in how should I put it? Not often. Periodically, they get myofib. They could, possibly. I can't say for sure. Okay, they get myofibular growth. It's all dependent. Even the sarcoplasmic depends on how much carbs you're eating. I don't know, man. Okay, it depends on how much you're eating there. So yeah, so it's caused by unfamiliar forms of exercise. So you get an ultrastructural muscle injury. What is an ultrastructural muscle injury? When did you get it? You got it right here in nuclei overload training. See that? It's really simple. Untrained, see where it says untrained? Unfamiliar means untrained. Untrained means unfamiliar. First training, satellite cell fusion, you get a fusion to those fibers. Now, depending on that ultrastructural muscle injury, you can get more fibers and a fusion. So you could get two in one, but it's all dependent on how much these fibers were injured. if it's massive injury or a minute amount of injury. And here it shows a minute amount. And then they hypertrophy because you need more cells, hyperplasia, to get hypertrophy. Without it, you can't, because muscles have an MND size limit. They can't not get bigger without more cells. You get more cells and they get bigger. It's really simple. So this whole overrated thing of muscle soreness, it's just an indicator. What happens is when you get those injuries in the muscles like it showed you there in that graph, you're going to get clinical signs are this. These are the clinical signs, what you're looking for. It says include reduced force capacities, increased painful restriction of movement, stiffness, swelling, and dysfunction of adjacent joints. Yeah, there you go. Although DOMS is considered a mild type of injury, it is a mild type. It's a micro injury, get it? It is one of the most common reasons for compromised supportive performance. That I know. It will compromise your performance, but that is the only way to build muscle. That is the problem. Yeah, man. So they tell you a lot of things here. I don't know. Unknown primary mechanisms occur considered the ultrastructural damage of muscle cells. Ultrastructural damage of muscle cells due to unfamiliar sporting activities or eccentric exercise, which leads to further protein degradation. Well, if it leads to protein degradation, then protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You better watch out. If you ever get a delayed onset muscle soreness in the gym, you better be ready for this, my friend. You better be ready for this. If muscle is going to gain mass, protein synthesis must exceed that breakdown. If it does not exceed that breakdown, and you get that delayed onset muscle soreness, and you get those ultrastructural muscle injuries in there, you're going to get what they call an apoptosis, because they're going to tell you right here. This is what's going to happen. There's further protein degradation, apoptosis, and local inflammatory response. You'll get an apoptosis. So you need to be careful with that. Now, the dead tissue will be cleaned up, blah, and then you'll get new tissues, and then you'll get more on top of it. Yeah. All right, so that's how you build muscle. Real muscle.
In the evidence-based community to say that soreness is overrated, or more specifically that soreness doesn't really mean anything and that soreness is only a side effect of novelty, I think that fails in about...
No, it means something. Like, your instincts are not lying to you people out there. When you say that you reached a genetic limit or a newbie gain limit or hard gainer and all that, you did. You reached an MND size limit, myonuclear domain size limit. That's why you're not building muscle no matter how much protein you eat. But if you do get that ultrastructural muscle injury, you better eat a shitload of protein, bro, or you're going to lose muscles even on top of it. And if you train through it, oh, they're dead already, man. Fuck it. You're really fucked. And you'll get an injury too. You could possibly injure yourself. I mean a serious injury, and fuck yourself.
7 or 8 logical grounds. When you do more volume, more intensity, proper progression, when you come closer to failure, when you generate a lot of metabolites, when you focus on the eccentric, when you train along muscle lengths, all of those things tend to cause more soreness. And to me, that sounds like a very, very close link causatively to hypertrophy. It's okay if you're not getting sore.
I wouldn't call that hypertrophy. I would call that hyperplasia. The hypertrophy part comes when the muscle cells hypertrophy through protein synthesis to must exceed that breakdown to get that mass. If you're going to see mass, then protein synthesis needs to exceed that. You understand me?
If you're not progressing and you feel like you're understimulating, trying to get sore is probably a good idea. And
I'm talking about in myofibrillar growth. I'm not talking about what he's talking about, maybe sarcoplasmic hypertrophy here. You could be loading glycogen because you guys are chronic lifters.
If you're getting sore, you have 99 problems, but stimulus is not one.
Okay.
Training each muscle only once a week, also known as
You are getting sore 99% or whatever, man.
a bro split.
There are better ways to train than training one muscle group once a week, especially if...
This would not matter what you're doing if you're a chronic lifter. Even if you're doing a bro split, a pyramiding, a drop set, or whatever. If you are a chronic lifter doing those things, then they're all protected by the repeated bout effect phenomena. There's no damage there. So the only thing you're growing in the gym are these artificial muscles. I told you, the sarcoplasmic muscles. That's what you're building in the gym. And how do you build them? Eat the best carb is complex carbohydrates, especially if you're natural. Now, if you're on steroids, it probably wouldn't matter. All the carbs you're eating are just being absorbed into the muscle. And you're going to look like him with your arms protruding out the side on steroids, like this bald-headed dude here. Yeah, man. It's cosmetic. You're doing it for cosmetic purposes. Basically, you're building these sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles for a cosmetic purpose to pretend that you're strong and look big. When in fact, I'm not saying you're not strong at lifting something heavy. I'm talking about the look of you.
You're talking about small muscle groups. Like if you train your rear delts once a week or your biceps once a week, there's absolutely no way they take that long to recover. You just missed opportunity. And legs or something, or
You're absolutely wasting your time if you're trying to build myofibrillar growth doing this. It's not working.
Huge back is fine once a week, but it's also not optimal. I think you should train muscles when they recover. That generally occurs anywhere between every day or 2 times a week.
You should train them when you recover, not if you have ultrastructural muscle injuries. Most of the time that DOMS lasts about 3 to 4 days. But the repair and the remodeling is not done until an entire week, sometimes 10. They even say sometimes 14 days, but it depends on how much you're eating. If you're eating astronomically high amounts of food, which will make you anabolic, you understand me? So that nitrogen balance is even. That's what steroids do. They keep the nitrogen balance even in your body because they're molecules, they're keeping you alive. Look, when somebody starves themselves, they go, I'm going on a starvation diet. What is keeping you alive is the growth hormone, and that's why they say, oh, growth hormone is through the roof, testosterone's through the roof. Why? Because it's a defense mechanism to keep you alive. So when you inject these steroids, the body acts as if it's keeping you alive, this hormone. And so what does it do? Keep you in a positive nitrogen balance. So it tries to retain and recycle proteins and things that are already in your body. It's circulating it, reusing it. Okay, so so if you want to do that naturally, it's really simple. Keep yourself in an anabolic growth state by overeating, maybe buffets, whatever. Keep eating like crazy, astronomically high amounts of food and protein. And what will happen is you'll suppress the catabolic hormone. That catabolic hormone will convert to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving you more force production and helping in growth because the IGF-1 and stuff will increase more exponentially, and the food that you're eating and everything, and you going through a repair and a remodeling and doing these ultrastructural muscle injuries, you'll build real muscle myofibrillar growth, and it won't just go away like these phony sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. Get it, man? Yeah. And you'll be a lot more stronger, believe me.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit of devil's advocate. The latest frequency research does show that a bro split is a viable approach, but I would say it's probably not the optimal approach.
Don't spend 2 hours per workout 5 days in the gym to do a perfectly fine approach. No one in here in the gym right now wants perfectly fine. They want jacked. It's the same number of days a week. You show up and not do a bro split, you get better results.
What about training to failure?
You get any results doing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy providing you eat enough glycogen.
So I think overrated. I think that the research shows that there's not a huge difference in terms of hypertrophy or strength if you go all the way to failure or if you stop a couple reps shy. I think people think going to failure is...
It means absolutely nothing if you're adapted at this point. It said that muscle damage is an adaptation. There is no more muscle damage because it's protected by repeated bout effect phenomena. You understand me? And if it's protected, there's nothing there. So you staying in the gym as a chronic lifter, your muscles are protected from any damage. It would be uncomfortable for a factory worker to get damaged every time they came into a factory lifting boxes all day. It's an adaptation process. And if you don't understand that, then go fucking read something, man.
Super important. And I think you have to know what failure feels like, but I do think overall it's overrated and not as important as a lot of...
You need to know what failure what feels like. You need to know what everything feels like, but do you know what the fuck you're getting there exactly? Just because you're going to failure doesn't mean you're getting the outcome that you think you're getting. Man, you have to think about what you're doing there first.
Bodybuilders think.
Agreed, and I would add that most of the people that are saying that failure is super important are coming from an egotistical perspective in which they need to emotionally drain themselves.
It absolutely will not matter if you're adapted, you go to failure, it's the same bullshit, you're just pumping glycogen. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn between the skin and the muscle into the muscle, and you're going to build these phony sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles.
In the gym, and it's more cathartic and psychological and less to do with what gets optimal results.
Nice. Okay, so I'm here editing this video now, and I kind of want to update my answer just a little bit. I still kind of think that training to failure is slightly overrated. However, there's a brand new meta-analysis that did find...
Training to failure to get what? Sarcoplasmic muscles is overrated? Who gives a shit what it is? It's all the same garbage.
average, training to failure was better.
You know, does he even understand any of these fucking reports? It just says there muscle hypertrophy. Doesn't tell you what type. It tells you a strength gain. That strength gain is an adaptation. The muscle hypertrophy is through sarcoplasmic. You understand me? Because it's exploring the dose response relationship between estimated resistance, training proximity to failure. Yeah, because you guys are you're trained athletes, bro. Hello.
For muscle growth than not training to failure.
Chronic lifters.
That doesn't mean that every set you do needs to be taken to failure, but I would say it's important. If you don't take any sets to failure, I would say you are leaving gains on the table. If I had to update my answer, training to failure.
What kind of gains? Sarcoplasmic gains, myocytic androgen receptor gains for that force production? Doesn't really tell you. Myofibular, what gains? Inflammatory response, what? Lactic acid gains, inflammatory gains. What kind of gains? Blood restriction, what kind of gains, bro? Fuck me. Is this a fusion of the fiber, a fusion to the fiber by the satellite cell gains? Is this more fibers and a fusion? Which one is it?
Is properly rated to slightly overrated. But I'm going to give Mike a quick call.
This is the problem with these people that take steroids, like JeffNippard. And then he tries to tell you, I got a package in the mail, but I didn't take it because I wanted to cheat at the show. Give me a fucking break.
And see if he wants to give an update. Hey, Mike. In our last video, you said...
Look, these people are nothing compared to me. I'm old school, bro. I'm really old school, okay? I'm in my late 50s. I'm old school, okay? I'm going to tell you, I'm a super athlete. I've already done all these things throughout my lifetime. I don't need to prove or do these things all over again. I'm going to tell you right now, they're full of shit what they're doing here. This is garbage. Garbage TV you're watching here.
You thought training to failure was overrated. I'm just wondering if you'd want to update that.
Yes, training to
Means absolutely nothing.
failure is even more overrated. Probably more overrated than ever because of that recent meta regression.
So much, I really appreciate it.
Okay, the mind to muscle connection.
Let's go to the next one. Mind to muscle connection. God, this is such garbage.
You go first.
I think that people who prefer to talk about mind-muscle connection sometimes are right in a nuanced way, but often are doing a
Mind to glycogen connection, glycogen loading connection. Look, I got the pump, Mom. Look, the pump. So let's go see our gains now. Let's go pose in the mirror and look at our gains, how much muscle we built in the gym. Let me ask you this question. Do you think muscles are built in a gym? What kind of muscles are you building in a gym when they tell you you're building muscles in a gym and you're getting a pump and then all this kind of bullshit? What do you think you're getting there exactly?
muscle connection at the expense of good technique and a lot of load and the right movements and especially progression. So as long as your technique is good, you have progression, then mind-muscle connection becomes important, but it's very much a quaternary or tertiary variable.
I completely agree. I think it's one of those things that matters and is generally good, but I think people overstate how much it actually matters. You can get a good mind-muscle connection and not necessarily have a sufficiently stimulative set if you didn't push that set hard.
How do you feel about pumps?
Okay, I'm gonna say
Here we go. Here comes the pumps, bro. I told you. Fake artificial muscle growth.
properly rated. I think pumps are fun and they make
See, he says properly, what did he say? Properly rated, overrated, or rated? I don't know. I missed that part.
training more enjoyable. They probably have some connection to hypertrophy, and I think people think
They have some connection to hypertrophy. Everything you're doing in there is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training, pump training. What are you talking about?
that pumps are good and fun, and they are, so yeah, properly rated.
Sure.
This is the dumbness of your fitness gurus. They don't even know what the fuck they're getting over there working out. They don't even know what he's getting. He's like, look, underrated. He's underrated and overrated. He's got two things up. He's even undecided, JeffNippard, because he's such a loser. And then you get fucking, he knows, look at his face. He knows fucking underrated, because that's all we're building is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the pump, bro. He knows.
I just mean underrated, as in I think pumps are great. And in the evidence-based
Of course pumps are great, because that's the muscle he's building. He's building sarcoplasmic muscles based on the pump, bro.
space, I think pumps are underrated. Whether or not you got a really good pump is a good gauge of if the target muscle was hit, if it's the right place that they're getting pumped, and also a good gauge of volume.
The next category is nutrition.
Important news. Elon Musk's project has scared the
Bulking.
I think dirty bulking.
What is the pump associated with? It's associated with glycogen loading. So dirty bulking, this is more fake shit, bro. Dirty bulking. If protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown, why would you do dirty bulking?
It can be fun. It can lead to strength gain, but overall, it leads to vastly disproportionately more.
Okay, bulking could lead to a suppression of the catabolic hormone. That definitely, I will have to agree. And so that would increase your force production because there's nothing competing there. Would you put on muscle? No, if there's no ultrastructural muscle injuries, you can't put on any more muscle because muscle has a domain limit. Shit.
Fat gain than it does muscle gain, and for that reason, I think it's overrated.
I mean, I have the stretch
I would have to agree, overrated. It's just fat, man. You're not building muscle, bro.
marks and loose skin to prove it. So I used to do it. I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun. It caused a lot of irreversible side effects, and I wish I would have stayed leaner, and it sure shit would have got.
Yeah, you should have been eating protein. If protein builds muscle, and protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown to build muscle, why the fuck would you be eating that for?
Me late more often in college. Natural
Yeah, let me get fat and then skinny, and I'm going to build muscle getting fat and skinny. That's going to get me over the myonuclear domain size limit, not
testosterone boosters.
Go first.
testosterone boosters.
Yeah, this is me super simple.
Absolutely fake garbage, more unnatural fake fucking products, bro.
There's no such thing.
If you want to boost your testosterone, take
Testosterone comes in a needle.
I mean, even if there was an
Next one.
1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
Ooh, I'm gonna do the Jeff Nippard.
Absolutely. If you're moving for myofibrillar growth, you're going to need 4 times that amount, the minimum, 4 times that amount per body weight. So that's going to be like 4 grams per body weight, 4 sometimes 5, 4 to 5 grams of protein per body weight. Yeah. Now you're replenishing. How should I put it? You broke down proteins in the gym because you're a chronic lifter and getting sarcoplasmic muscles, then yeah, 1 gram would be sufficient enough after the workout to replenish the breakdown in these proteins. That's about it.
It's just a little bit more than enough protein than you need for almost all cases, and because it's just a little.
You're basically coming in and you're shrinking your myofibrillars by working them, by doing these stupid exercises like he said in the beginning, drop sets to failure and all that. It's protected by the repeated butt effect. So you're simply shrinking your muscles and then restoring them. Protein turnover, shrinking and restoring, shrinking and restoring. And then the glycogen, that's just filling up the tank, bro. For the phony muscles.
Bit more than enough. If you eat a relatively balanced diet, it obviates the need to pay high attention to protein quality, and it's a really easy number to remember. And if you live in the great nation of the United States of America, then you do pounds, goddamn.
We eat a lot of meat up here, that's for sure.
grams for food still. Okay, I'll say properly rated as well. I like 1 gram per pound with the caveat that it is actually more than you need in almost all instances. When cutting, I would say 1 gram per pound is a good rule. When bulking, you probably only need like 0.
No such thing as bulking. When you're cutting, you can eat as much protein as you want when cutting. It's usually what you want to do is eat more high fat, animal fat, than protein when you're supposedly you want to lose fat. Yeah, man, that's how it really works actually. And actually does better for your body that way. And you build muscle better with animal fat. That really helps a lot, eating a lot of animal fat and protein as well, but more animal fat.
7 or 0.8 grams per pound.
What about body recomposition, also known as recomping?
This is such garbage nonsense. It's all bro, fake science, made up crap.
I think recomping is underrated because most people in the general population can very reasonably expect to build muscle while losing fat at the same time, even though a lot of people in fitness culture tend to say, oh, you need to cut in bulk. I don't think that's actually true for most people.
I think those are great and valid points. I'm coming at a slightly different perspective. Just because you can do something and it is effective doesn't mean there's not a better way to do it. Almost all goals that you could achieve with recomping, you could do better with dedicated cutting and bulking. If you want to be jacked or lean, then recomping will only take you so far. And after it runs its course, which is probably in about a year of dedicated recomping, you'll get almost all of it that you will. After that, You're going to have to pull some bigger triggers.
What about diet soda?
Diet soda is, by almost all research accounts, essentially completely inert with regards to your health, and it tastes delicious, and it's amazing, and it's awesome, and it's underrated by people who think it's really bad for you or who think it's...
It's garbage, man. Do not drink any sodas. Garbage. Fake. It's fake. It's garbage. Diet breaks.
Cool.
Yep.
Diet breaks.
I'm gonna say underrated. There really shouldn't be any like major rush to get lean. I think in general people try to rush fat loss too much.
You don't need to do that. Let's hear this one. Clean eating.
And then try again.
What about clean eating?
controversy.
I think it's overrated because, for one, it's really, really hard to define. Everybody has a different definition of what eating clean means. If you take it to the extreme, you can get some really disorder.
I'll tell you what clean eating means. It means eating your natural diet, which is an animal-based diet. That's what it is. And unfortunately, you're all slaves, so you wouldn't know what that is. So you're eating a very unnatural diet, whatever they're feeding you, marketing to you, these companies, whatever. And so you're eating this crap, and you're destroying yourself at the same time.
Eating behaviors, ultimately, it can become so clean that there's nothing left on.
They're not videos.
I thought these were all hot topics.
How do you feel about natty or not videos?
All right, I'll take this one. From the creator's standpoint, I think they're...
It's just goofy videos. Are you taking cosmetics or not? Are your muscles cosmetically fake or are they real? Well, here's the thing. I'll explain this. If you are if you are adapted and you're chronically lifting in the gym and you're a chronic lifter, you're an endurance athlete, you're an endurance lifter now, and you're building these sarcoplasmic muscles, you're no longer building myofibrillar, then you are a fake natty. And so are these steroid people chronically lifting coming into. They're endurance athletes. They're using an enhanced performing drug, enhanced performing to enhance their performance. That is based on enhanced performance, glycogen. And so they too are building these phony muscles. So you're all phony. Don't try to tell me that's real muscle if you didn't build it real. Let's see what else he has to say here.
Overrated because I believe in innocent until proven guilty, and if you're just speculating on someone's natural...
Means nothing. What if I eat shitloads of bowls? What if I eat 100-pound bags of potatoes and I get fucking massive? Am I too a fake natty? Yeah, because I build potato muscles. Get it? I build glycogen muscles. They filled up, like I showed you there previously in the beginning.
Status on scant evidence, then you could be hurting their reputation. From the viewer's standpoint, I don't think that...
Their reputation, they're full of shit anyway. All these influencers cheat anyways. Natty versus enhanced training, it's cosmetic, okay?
No one wanted to say anything.
Fair enough.
What do you think about the idea that natty training is completely different from enhanced training?
Natty training from enhanced training is exactly the same training. All you guys are endurance trainers. You all are coming in chronically lifting, and you're all getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's it. That's what you're getting. That's your problem. That is your problem. And you can't stop doing that because you're all stupid.
Who wrote these? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like a fiction designed by two people. One, natties that need an excuse for why they're not getting jacked, and two,
No, absolutely not. That's not true. They're not getting jacked. Nobody's getting jacked because they can't beat the myonuclear domain size limit. That's why you're taking steroids. And then you got these other guys doing other stuff like creatine and all these weird products. These
addicted idiots.
If they knew about eating more glycogen to build those phony muscles like the steroid people, then they would do the same. That's all it's doing. It's an adaptation process. It's a defense mechanism. It's survival. Your body goes into survival mode to do that. It's doing very specific things, keeping your nitrogen balance, putting in these glycogen storages, boo, 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 building all these phony things. You just don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Think that they don't have to read science papers.
I would say
This channel is overrated, and so are these two bumpkins.
enhanced people can probably recover better. Is that not true either?
It's a very nuanced topic.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true, but if you're enhanced, that means you're more jacked, and as soon as you become more...
When they use that word recover, remember, endurance athletes recover. Real athletes who are building muscle, they build muscle. They'll say, we're building muscle. You're not building muscle. You understand me? And a real athlete would say, I'm damaging muscles. That's what he's trying to do, and he's trying to shoot for DOMs. But none of you are, because it's uncomfortable and you don't like it, because it weakens you. You have to go through this cycle of weakness and whatever. So none of you will do that like it showed in the beginning. So yeah, does this natty or enhanced training? It's all the same training. You're both training for garbage.
Jacked, that enhanced recovery difference goes away because you're more jacked, you're stronger.
Yeah, it's full of sarcoplasmic. That look is cosmetic because he's using an anabolic steroid, which is keeping the body fat on the outside very, very low, suppressing it, the cells, removing this triglyceride. That's what it's doing. It's cosmetic, but it's temporary, providing you take the drug. When you don't take the drug, it all goes away because it's temporary. It's cosmetic.
You're bigger and it's way harder to recover, so it just ends up leveling the playing field, and you get...
Let's go to cold shower.
Yes.
Okay.
Cold showers.
Research-vetted way to reduce hypertrophy. If you think that they offer you an effect of that sort of shock therapy, waking you up, and
Cold showers are no good for people, especially if you've got an inflammatory response when you are building muscles. That will inhibit the muscle growth, the repair and the remodeling phase. It'll fuck it up. All right? And if you have any damage, like real severe tears or damage or something, and try to go cold showers, that will inhibit, that will slow, if not stop, the repair and remodeling, and it'll keep it in a fibrotic state. So it's really bad for you. Don't do that.
Being a sympathetic driver for part of your day, because sympathetic parasympathetic.
And it will age you. It'll turn on defense mechanisms, and all these things will age you. You're chronically lifting, you're aging, accelerated aging. Going in cold showers will accelerate aging. Go to the next one, no FAP.
Okay, what about no FAP, also known as semen retention?
Oh, bro.
Man, this is more bullshit, garbage too, man. This is such garbage. I don't know what they're bringing up this garbage for. Maybe they have no content. I don't even want to talk about that. That's just stupid. Locking out the knees is dangerous. Well, I don't know.
Performance.
All right, locking out the knees is dangerous.
Go ahead.
There's neither evidence nor rationale for that, and your knees are designed to lock out, and if you control the lockout gently and you don't snap into it like a psycho.
The reason why you're locking out your knees is because you're resting. That's all. You're resting if you're locking out your knees. That's about it, basically. You're basically locking because, I don't know, in your mind you're thinking, this is torture, this is hard work, and I gotta lock my knees. Like a factory worker lifting boxes now. You're not really getting damaged. You're just wasting your time there building these phony muscles. Anyways, let's go to the next one, filming in gyms.
True.
Filming in gyms.
I think underrated. I think
It's underrated. You can film. Why wouldn't you want to film yourself in a gym? You want to film what you're doing. What's the big deal? I don't know.
it's overhated. I feel like people hate on people filming at the gym. Like, oh, why are you filming at the gym? This and that. I film at the gym, and it helps
Who gives a shit? I don't care what people are filming. They could film me. They could film anything. I don't really care, man. That has nothing to do with anything. Who gives a shit? What does this have to do with fitness?
educate people on training. As long as you're not disrespecting other people who maybe don't want to be on camera or violating the gym rules, I'm all for it.
I think as the world becomes more technologically advanced and as more of us start to wear eventually...
You have a right to film anything in a public place, even in a gym. But if it's a private gym, I don't know, you may want to ask the owner. I don't know.
VR glasses, AR glasses, eventually AR contact lenses. Being out in public will be implicit consent for being on anyone's video. And also, yeah, of course I'm going to film my training, and anyone should be able to film their training too. And if you walk through someone's camera, you will be on camera because you're out in public anyway. Are you kidding me? And Facebook and Instagram and stuff is just another version of public. You were out in the gym, weren't you? If someone's filming in your own private gym and you don't want to be on there, I understand. And also, there's tripods everywhere. So what? Walk around. There's also machines everywhere. Get out of here.
If you didn't see the last video, I did a shoulder...
I'll have to agree with Dr. Zertel on that one, man. I don't know what's the matter with these fucking people. Film whatever you want, walk around, stop fucking going through the shit.
workout with Dr. Mike. I'll put a link to that over here somewhere. Make sure you check out his channel.
Yes, the top 3 shoulder exercises. Okay. Man, this was a little painful to watch, but okay. We managed to get through it, man, all in one piece. Like, subscribe, support the channel helps. Comment down below, it helps with the algorithm, friends. I'll see you in the next one. JeffNippard. Man, the fitness, lifting, gym slave, fitness slave, who's enslaved 4.3 million fitness guru, slaves, subscribers, whatever. I don't know. I gotta go, man. I'll see you in the next one. This was fucking interesting, but yeah, these people are overrated. I say they are overrated. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.